Welcome to our third ever drama production, Relationship for Dummies, composed of 3 one-act plays. Our first play is called In the Beginning. With a reptilian bartender acting as a matchmaker, the future of the human race looks anything but promising. When a sophisticated Eve meets the hunky but dim Adam over apple martinis at the Garden of Eden Bar and Grill. Well, I hope you guys
Welcome to the Garden of Eden, man. I'm the servant. I'll be your bartender tonight. Haven't seen you here before. You must be new.
Yes, I am. Very new.
So, what'll it be?
What'll what be?
You know, drink. What do you want to drink?
I don't know. No one's ever asked me that before. As a matter of fact, no one's ever asked me anything.
Well, what's your name?
Name?
Yeah. What do people call you?
People?
People. Like yourself.
I don't know. I've never met anyone like me before.
That makes 2 of us. Ooh. Well, hello there.
Hi.
Hi. What can I get you?
I'm not sure.
Great. You two are pretty close together. Might I suggest an apple martini? I can make a great apple martini.
Okay. I've never had an apple martini. Come to think of it, I've never had anything to drink.
Trust me, you won't be sorry.
Wow.
Goes down smooth, doesn't it?
Yeah, very smooth.
Just wait till it kicks in.
Kicks in, what do you mean? You left out the sugar.
The what?
The sugar. You always sugar the rim of the glass when you serve a proper apple martini. Also, you use too much liqueur. Overwhelms the kick of the vodka, but otherwise not bad.
I thought you said you never had an apple martini before, baby.
That's right, this is my first.
And how do you know so much about how to make one?
I have knowledge.
You know what they say about knowledge?
It's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, that's what they say.
But that depends on who's got the knowledge.
You're all right. Hey, so, what do you think?
I don't.
No what?
Think.
No kidding. Talking about the babe at the table.
Babe?
Yeah, you know, the babe, the chick, the Betty, the skirt. She's alone and, you know, this one looks very available, if you get my drift.
I don't.
You know what?
Get your drift. I don't even know what that means, to get your drift.
I think it means you have a real chance with it. Why don't you give it a shot?
Why don't you give it a shot?
Well, normally I would, but I have a feeling that you humans aren't into interspecies dating. Besides, you do want to propagate the species, don't you? You know, propagate. Get it on. Do the wow thing.
You talk.
Never mind how I talk. Just find out how the woman talks.
What's a woman?
Are you serious? I know this guy's an early prototype. Just how dumb did you have to make her? Let me explain. You are a human being, right? She is a human being. You're both human beings.
Oh, I don't think so.
Trust me, man. I've been around a lot longer than you have. Which isn't saying much. But, I know that. You're both human beings. You have the distinction of being the first human being, whereas she is what I like to call the new and improved model. Go over and introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
You want to propagate the species?
Hey, back off, pal. I don't know you from Adam.
Who's Adam? I'm the first human being.
Great.
You're a human being.
I know.
We're both human beings?
Hard to believe, isn't it?
You're the new and improved version.
That goes without saying.
Well, I talked to her.
She didn't seem too impressed, man. Why don't you try again? Tell her something about yourself.
What should I tell her?
You know, something that'll impress her. Turn her on. Get her all hot and bothered.
Hot and bothered? Won't that make her uncomfortable?
You humans are going to be the shortest of species in history. Look, is there anything you know how to do?
I can lift big rocks. I'm very strong.
You serious? That's not much. But it's a start. You know, maybe she digs the muscle type, opposites attracting and all that. Try again.
I can lift heavy rocks. Can you?
Well, theoretically, if I had a long enough lever and a pivot point, I could lift very big rocks.
What's a pivot point?
You're not too bright, are you?
No, I'm a human being.
Please don't keep saying that.
Okay, do you want to propagate the species?
Not if you were the only man on Earth.
Excuse me, you two. Couldn't help overhearing your guys' conversation, and I really don't mean to throw a wet blanket over the proceedings. But unfortunately for you, he is the only man on Earth.
You've got to be kidding.
Wish I was. Make my life a whole lot easier.
There are no other males.
Not one.
But he's...
A moron?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
He's not bad to look at, right?
Well, no. But still, looks aren't everything.
That seals it. You definitely aren't the male. Anyway, it's up to you. It's either him, the human race ends right here, before it's even had a chance.
Please, I really don't need the pressure.
Maybe the human race ending with you two isn't such a bad thing.
Isn't there someone else we could come up with?
You know, he may be the only man, but you are the only woman.
Talk about a lousy deal.
Maybe if you gave this guy another chance.
Maybe I was just a tad judgmental.
If mankind's gonna have a future,
By the way, how does this future of mankind thing work anyway?
well, usually begins with a bottle of wine, then,
Really?
and that is just for starters.
Tell me more. Oh? Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
And that's it.
not exactly.
You're kidding.
No, that's how it works.
Something like that is going to come out of something like this? How can that not be incredibly painful?
Hey, it wasn't my idea, baby.
And whose great idea was it?
Well, as you can see, I'm a serpent, and we lay eggs, so.
I'm down with the first part, the wine, but the second part, not a chance.
Hey, if you want mankind to end right here, right now,
The things woman has to do. I'm afraid we got off to a bad start. Why don't we talk? I can tell you a little something about me. You can tell me a little something about you. Probably very little. Why don't I start about you?
Okay. And then we can propagate the species?
We'll see. What can I tell you about myself? I'm smart. I know it can be a little off-putting, but it's the truth. I'm the fountain of knowledge. For instance, I know that 1 + 1 equals 2.
and, you know, under the right circumstances, 1 + 1 can equal 3. That is on the house.
Where was that?
You were being smart.
Yes, smart. I know that the sun is the center of our solar system, and our sky is filled with billions of stars, planets, pulsars, nova, and supernovas.
I can lift heavy rocks.
Yes, you said that. I know how grass grows, why it gets dark at night, where rain comes from, and what causes volcanoes.
I once killed an animal with my bare hands.
How charming. I know that pi is the ratio between a circle's radius and its circumference. I know that for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction, and that bodies in motion tend to stay in motion,
We can put our bodies in motion.
and bodies at rest tend to stay at rest. I know that water is 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. I know that,
I'm very strong,
well, you do have a very nice physique.
but my butt's too big.
You have a very nice butt.
Just saying that.
No, when I first saw you, I said to myself, nice butt.
I'm too hippie.
Don't say that. You should have more self-esteem.
I'm not smart like you.
Who is? But you do have other very admirable and useful qualities.
Why? Just because I can lift heavy rocks?
Well, that could be very useful in situations where heavy rocks need to be lifted. And you can kill an animal, you said so yourself.
Big deal.
It's a very big deal when you're hungry and in the mood for some honey-braised animal.
It must be good to know all the things you know.
Well, knowledge is power.
What's power?
The ability to control things, the forces of nature, the world around you, the inhabitants of that world.
Wow, you can do all that?
Yes, I can.
Because you're smart?
That, and because I'm a woman.
Well, he said that you and I are the same.
Not exactly.
I don't understand.
It's nothing to worry your pretty little head about.
But how can I be smart? Know about the stars and the moon and controlling things? I'd like to have power.
But then who would look after the children?
Children.
You do want to have children, don't you?
You're moving a little too fast, aren't you?
You think so?
We've only just met.
And it's going so well, don't you agree?
But
What is it, cupcake?
about us, about the future, about a real commitment.
Why don't you let me worry about those things and you worry about, well, looking incredibly hot?
Well,
Let's get out of here. I know a nice little place over in the land of Nod. It's just east of here.
I don't know.
Take a little sip of my drink. It'll help you relax.
Really?
Trust me.
Wow, that's good. 1 + 2 = 3. E = mc squared. The Earth is the 3rd planet from the sun.
What happened to him?
That's something that we evil masterminds like to call knowledge.
Knowledge?
You were right. Knowledge is power.
You know what they say about power, my man?
It corrupts. And absolute power?
Corrupts absolutely.
You knew this was going to happen, didn't you? You planned it.
There are 16 ounces in a pound. The hypotenuse of a right triangle is the square
Where
root.
are you going?
Out.
Where?
To kick ass and gain dominion over all the creatures of the earth.
When will you be back?
I'll be back when I'm back in Pete's beverage. Here.
We're doomed!
And to think, this is only the beginning.
Now that one was quite transitioning. Our next performance is called Her Time. Patty, a young gorgeous woman, gets set up by her cousin Minnie and her husband Fred with a quiet, reserved gentleman. But somehow, Patty can't carry out any proposal because of her constant need to talk. From her, we learn that sometimes a lot of things are better left unsaid.
And how long should you require the sitting room, sir?
Only for an hour or so. My friend is in but they don't find it.
At 2 o'clock. Will this room suit you, sir?
Yes, this will do. When my friend comes back, ask him to please come in.
Yes, sir.
Well, my dear, this is a pretty mad bit of business.
Not at all.
I saw Mr. Scobell was rather struck by Patty at the ball last week. It was lucky he was staying on South Sea and could get over so easily.
What's the good of bringing him over for now? They can't accept an engagement in that amount of time.
Why not? Mr. Scobell seems to know his own mind.
Oh, yes.
And he wants to get married.
Yes, but don't you think you're going ahead a little fast, little girl?
There isn't much time to waste. He has only another hour left in England, and he isn't engaged yet. What did he really say in the smoking room last night?
Nothing much, except that Patty caught his eye, and on the strength of that, he telegraphed off to Pat to come here and meet him.
Naturally. Mr. Scobell is a very rich man, and I want to give Pearl Pat a chance.
Oh, she has muddled the love affairs terribly. You might just give Pat a friendly caution.
Her tongue? Yes, she does talk.
And never says anything. Look at her mother.
Oh, that's a downright horrid old bore.
And Pat's just as bad.
Hush.
Poor old Lori.
Why poor old Laurie?
Fancy being out in the wilds of Argentina for 4 or 5 years, having nothing to listen to but Pat's incessant talking.
My dear.
Oh, so you turned up, Lori?
Yes, I have. It seems like they've turned someone else into my cabin.
Perhaps we'll have to stay till the next ball?
Oh, I can't.
Not even to meet my charming cousin Patty and get to know her better.
My dear, I must be in Buenos Aires in this day. About 3 weeks. Wait, Miss Hanslope is coming here.
Yes, I've just got her telegram. She says, delighted to come over. We'll be at Barley's about 12. She'll be here directly.
In your telegram, did you mention it was on my account?
Oh no, at least I said you were selling by the Don Stefanovich and wished to say goodbye to her.
Oh, so you haven't committed me?
Not at all, but you are still interested in Patty.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And you hope to be still further interested?
Oh, yes. I dread the terrible loneliness out there. No one to speak to for weeks together.
Patty's splendid company, isn't she, Fred?
Delightful. You'll never have a dull moment, little boy.
She has refused 3 offers in the last 6 months.
And I heard old Bill Garris plucking up his courage to ask her.
I'm afraid you don't stand much chance. Still, you can't try.
Well, thank you. If Miss Hanslope arrives, give me half an hour.
Excuse me, Mr. Scobell.
Yes.
Oh, a clerk from the shipping office wishes to see you about your cabin, sir.
I'll come to you. If Miss Hanslope arrives, I shall be a few minutes.
Well, Pat can't say we haven't done our best with her.
If only she won't talk too much.
She's a good-looking girl. They'll only have a half hour together. Let's hope that Lori just spends the whole time looking at her.
Mr. and Mrs. Bracey. He's a tall, fair man with brownish hair and a sandy bristling mustache that he's always coming up at the end like a German emperor. And to be tall, now why did he show me in that first place instead of making such a fuss about it? I want the waterproof. Please look after her. Well, here you are, my dear. I've been racing all over the hotel to find you. I do think Southampton is the most stupid place, and the waves are often the most stupid people under the sun. Well, dear, where's Mr. Scobell? Do you really think now that he is smitten? I couldn't quite understand your telegram, so I flew upstairs without any breakfast. I hope I haven't overdone it, because I don't wish Mr. Scobell to think me a dressy, extravagant woman, but at the same time, oh well, I sweetest mess. Oh, Fred, how are you? How convenient that you wear such awful waistcoats. When I wear you. Now, where have I put the telegram? But you know, that night at the ball, I thought he was, because he kept looking at me and oh, you know how men look when they really are. Here it is. You have made a great impression on Mr. Scobell. He is so pleased to see you again. Meet us at Farley's Hotel, Southampton, early as possible. Your whole future at stake. Most important, you have an understanding with him before he sails. Do you know, I thought it was the most sweetest and dearest thing for you to spend all that money on a telegram. And when this is all settled, darling, I shall give you my diamond and pearl brooch. You know, the large one with the body of the bee? It's my favorite brooch. And I shall work Fred a very, very handsome waistcoat instead of that awful thing he's wearing. If you really think now that Mr. Scobell is really, really, really smitten,
We've all been set up for you. You've only got to let him propose and accept him.
thank you, dear. Of course I shall accept him if he gives me the chance.
Take my advice, Pat. The moment Lori makes you an offer, or even a little before, down on him. And please don't let him escape.
Very well, I will. But I hope he won't think I'm throwing myself at him, because it's not like I haven't got other chances. There's George Moorcraft only waiting for me to give him another chance. And I rather fancy Mr. Garris, who's hoping I'm sure my nose is a little red. It always gets a little red when I go without breakfast.
Take my advice, Pat. It's not your nose that will do you in.
Now, Pat, don't get angry. The reason George Moorcraft held back was, well, my dear, it was your tongue.
My tongue? My tongue? My tongue? The reason George Moorcraft held back is because I've very plainly given him to understand that in the least possible use in the world of his coming more forward. George Moorcraft! Well, he's got violent temper! George Moorcraft!
Never mind, George Moorcraft. Lord Scoville will be here momentarily, Pat.
Yes, now, Pat, for your own sake, take care.
Take care of what?
Mr. Scoville is a very cold, quiet, reserved man.
And then I'll naturally want someone who's gay and lively.
I don't think Mr. Scoville will like someone too.
My dear Pat, that shows how little you know about human nature. People are always attracted by their opposites. I'm glad that you told me Mr. Scoville is cold and reserved, because now I know exactly how to manage him. I was going to be a little standoffish and reserved myself, but now I shall be a little, just a little free and easy, as to completely fit into his mood.
Oh, hey, so you turned up, Lloyd.
Yes, I'm back.
How do you do? It was so nice of you to wish to see me again. I had a croquet party at the Barringers. They're very nice people, and one meets so many nice people, and as soon as I got to his
Pat, excuse me. Excuse me. Minnie and I have some shopping to do. So, if you'll let us go, I'll order lunch for the four of us. Have it ready to plop down the moment we get back. Take care, you two. Right on. Adios.
So you really sail for Argentina today?
Yes, I must.
I've always wished to travel. Of course, we've done Switzerland and the Riviera. I love Switzerland. But I've always had a great desire to explore fresh new countries and camp out and rough it a great deal and perhaps do a little pig sticking. That is, if you wouldn't think it a little, just a little unwomanly. I've such a horror of doing anything unwomanly. When I die, I shall have my epitaph to be, she never did anything unwomanly. Just that, no more, she never did anything unwomanly. And Rob, you think pig sticking unwomanly?
Oh, well, my dear, there is no pig sticking in Argentina.
Isn't there? Then of course, that settles the question. Where is Argentina?
South America.
South America? Oh, how awfully interesting. I've always dreamed of South America since I was a little girl and read about the Red Indians and the Incas and the pagodas and the conquest of Peru. I can't remember who was it that conquered Peru. Peru was conquered, wasn't it? Peru is in South America, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So you really sailed for Argentina today?
Yes, I must.
I felt so flattered when I got Minnie's telegram, and we only met that one night at the ball. But how often one finds that chance meetings like ours are charged with lifelong consequences, doesn't one?
Of course.
One sees a face in a crowd, or perhaps in a railway carriage, or one hears a distant note of music, or perhaps in a bustle and whirl of a London season, another emptiness of things come over one. One loves to throw off all the trammels of civilization and live just a sweet, simple existence in some new country. Haven't you ever felt like that?
Not exactly.
Oh. So you really must sail for Argentina today?
Yes, I must.
Oh, well, I really couldn't understand Minnie's telegram. She said something about you and your sailing, and you wish an opportunity of seeing me. You did wish to see me.
Well, yes, you see, I'm very lonely out there in Argentina, and I said so in Fred's smoking room. Well, I did feel down in the mouth at the thought of leaving England, and I thought,
Yes?
well, I felt,
Yes?
I thought if I could persuade some nice girl,
Yes?
well, I dreaded being out there alone.
How terrible for you! How absolutely awful! I think there's nothing more dreadful than the feeling of utter solitude and desolation that creeps over one when one is left alone for any long time. Oh, you poor thing! What do you do in Argentina?
Well, you see, love, I developed a large tract of land. I cut it up into farms, and I farm on a large tract myself.
What a perfectly sweet life! 3 years ago, we went for a month to a farmhouse in Wales, and I used to watch the girl milking the cow every evening. I asked her to let me try one evening, but she didn't understand a word of English. And when I patted her dear little calf, she looked quite vicious.
I'm afraid not.
Well, you know, what do the women generally wear in Argentina?
Well, I haven't noticed.
But they must wear something. I do think it's so charming when the women of a country adopt some national distinctive costume, like the Tyrolese or the Welsh. Some of those Tyrolese women wear, well, it's a really masculine dress. I couldn't do that. I love masculine women, don't you?
Yes.
When a woman has so many attractions of her own, why should she go out of her own proper spirit and try to be a man? Why should she?
I don't know.
When a woman is so beautiful, why should she try to be a man? I don't understand, Mr. Scobell. Why should she?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
What are the shops like in Argentina?
There are no shops.
No shops?
It's about 3 weeks to the nearest town.
Oh, how delightful. It must be quite the country.
Yes.
Well then.
Oh, pardon me. Can't get it here. Ah, my ticket. They made a mistake in it. I really must see about this.
Have they? How careless of them. I often ask myself how people can be so stupid. How do you account for there being so many stupid people in the world? Oh. What's the climate like in Argentina? Is it very hot?
Rather, in the summer.
And I suppose the winters are rather cold. I'm so fond of the winter. I think there's nothing more brilliant than gathering around the fire on a winter evening and telling ghost stories. I know 1 or 2 awfully good ghost stories. Do you know, at times, I feel I must frighten people. I do. I can't help it. I do positively do. I made a whole party stay up for bikers the other night, and the dear bishop said I made him feel uncomfortable. It was too bad of me, wasn't it?
Of course it was that.
Oh, and are you fond of ghost stories?
Not really.
Well, then I shall tell you one. Not now, but one of these days I shall begin a creepy, creepy blood curdler that I reserve for my special friends. And before you expect it, I shall make you positively shudder, Mr. Scobell. Positively shudder! Now don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, I really must be getting to my boat now.
But after all, I don't know if I don't prefer the summer. The delightful long evenings. Really, I can make myself happy and contented anywhere. When things go wrong, I simply smile and think of all the pleasant things I can think of until things are all right. We didn't settle what dresses I ought to get. And of course, there's mother's dresses we ought to think of.
You have a mother.
Yes! I didn't tell you! I must have forgotten it! Oh, she's so wonderful! Of course, I wish you could have met her, Mr. Scobell, but there'll be plenty more opportunities, won't there? You will like my mother. Everybody said them exactly what she was like when she was 25. I must tell you, mother is a rather gay old creature.
Indeed she is, of course.
Yes, I rather pride myself on my good temper and my animal spirits. Don't you think I have a rather good supply of animal spirits?
Yes, you do.
Oh, I'm no one besides mother. She's simply wonderful. Always alive and sold any company she's in. You've been rather dull and lonely out in Argentina, Fred tells me.
No, not exactly.
Nobody could be dull and lonely where mother is. She's simply wonderful. What amusements are there in Argentina?
There are no amusements.
No amusements?
Not where I live.
But mother is so fond of society and going everywhere and seeing everything.
Argentina won't suit her at all.
But of course, if I went to Argentina, it would be impossible for me to leave my mother. She's simply wonderful. I couldn't do it. Always ready to make herself pleasant and agreeable wherever she is. And she has such a fund of anecdotes and recollections. So witty and humorous. Don't you like wit and humor in a woman?
Of course.
I She was quite agreed, so she said, "New broom, sweep clean." Just like that, quite on the spur of the moment. New broom, sweep clean. You will like my mother. Is anything the matter?
No, but it is about that time I must be going to sail.
No. Yes, but I really couldn't understand Minnie's telegram.
Please, I really must be going.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Scoville. Please don't leave. Goodbye. Please don't say goodbye. But you sent for me to come all the way from Southsea.
You see, the other night at the ball, I was agreeably impressed. And well,
Yes?
and on the strength of that, Mrs. Bracy telegraphed.
Yes! Your whole future at stake. Most important, you have an understanding with him before he sails. Read it!
Oh my God. I'm afraid Mrs. Bracy has been indiscreet.
Indiscreet? But you sent for me to come all the way from Southsea! Don't tell me you're being indiscreet, Mr. Scoville. Don't tell me that. Did you or did you not say that you were agreeably pressed by me? Because that's what Minnie's telegram said.
After all, I was.
Yes, well,
I thought we might begin a disinterested friendship.
a disinterested friendship? Oh my, Mr. Scoville, you did not expect me to come for a disinterested friendship.
I'm terribly sorry if I've caused any inconvenience.
Inconvenience, but I have the most pressing invitations to the Beringers. They're the nicest people in Southsea, and one meets everybody there. Oh, Mr. Scoville, please.
Really, I must be getting to my boat.
But I hope I don't think you think I'm throwing myself at you. Please don't think that. I could never do that. I can never suit myself to make myself cheap to any man. No, no, 1,000 times no. No, it's just that I owe it to my womanly pride. And no, Mr. Scoville. Oh no, what have I said? What have I said?
Oh, my dear Miss Hansford, I'm terribly sorry. I really am.
If you're truly sorry, then you can do little less but to make amends.
I will do anything. I really will.
Then you're ready to take the consequences?
Certainly.
Well then, Mr. Bracy will be here in a few months to demand a full explanation of your conduct.
I'll tell you what. I'll write him about it. In the meantime, my lawyers are Beam and Son. They're at Grayson Square, and if you have any claim against me, put your solicitors in communication with them. Now, I must be going.
No! How could you think that I can make a market out of my most sacred feelings and then take him to a court of law?
Thank God.
Yes, I refuse to. In the first place, our slight acquaintance, it would never amount to an offer of marriage. No!
What's the matter here?
He has called me the most insulting names.
Lori, what names?
He said, take it easy, my dear lady, take it easy. I've never been so insulted. Minnie, this is all your fault.
What has he done, Pat? Anything wrong?
Yes, he called me names. He said, take it easy. I am not a dear lady.
Lori, we better clear this up, then.
I'll write you about it for a little fellow. Have in a moment. Goodbye, Mrs. Bracy.
No, surely you would not leave without an explanation, Mr. Scoville.
Lord have mercy. Take it easy, my dear lady. Take it.
Well, Pat, you seem to have muddled it again.
This is your fault, and your fault for bringing me over here from Southsea and then expecting me to sail over to a wretched country like Argentina where there are no shops. No. Waiter, tell me when the next train leaves to Southsea. And a cab, and a bradshaw, and a biscuit. Oh, and a cab, and then you make a glass of
Edit party, and their immediate romantic attraction is translated into comically unromantic grammar lessons as they struggle to free themselves from the banal constrictions of party talk.
Yeah, George!
English Made Simple, Chapter 3, The Party, Section 1, saying hello.
Hello.
But remember, before you begin, the first 3 minutes of conversation between two people can determine their relationship for the rest of eternity. So watch your language.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Nice to know you.
My name is Jill.
I'm Jack.
How do you do?
Friend of the host?
Friend of the hostess.
Oh. So...
Whoa.
Nice party.
Excellent. But let's look at the underlying rhythm of this interchange.
Bubba.
Beep.
Bubba beep.
Boo.
Bee-da-dee-da-dum-fa.
Da-da-da.
Ba-ba.
Ba-da-doo-wop.
Bee-da-da-dee.
Dee-da-da-dee-dee.
Oh. Ba.
Boo.
Doo-wop-ba.
Hello. It's always hello.
You're the most wonderful woman at this party.
And then goodbye.
Beautiful light that surrounds you.
Every time we hear the word hello, it's like a magic incantation, an open sesame.
Hello, I said to her.
Abracadabra.
My name is Jack.
And I expect a whole new universe to open up in front of me, full of joy.
Hello.
And then goodbye.
Section 2, the structure of English conversation.
Fred!
First name.
Mary.
First name.
Hello.
Salutation. Social display of affection. Followed by
I didn't know you were here.
friendly observation. Answered by
Well, I'm here.
statement of obvious. Superficial question about the health.
Good.
Superficial answer. Occupational question.
How's the job?
And
Terrific.
acceptable falsehood.
So,
Meaningless monosyllable while searching for a topic.
Why the smorgasbord?
Attend to the new topic. Non-criminal noise to reject the topic. And
well,
exclamation to signal the approaching end of this interchange. Well done.
I was in love with you once upon a time.
You asked me about my job, and I lied to you.
You who look so self-possessed and mature.
I would have answered you honestly once upon a time.
Once upon a time, you cried on my shoulder like a small child.
We would have talked like two people who love each other. Then we would have gone home and laid in bed.
We used to go to parties like this all the time.
Together.
So happy.
Well, nice seeing you, Fred.
Expression of pleasure. First name.
Take care, Mary.
Party in which. First name.
Bye.
Valediction. Section 3. Simultaneous translations or the secret meaning of common English words.
Well.
In this context, crap.
I didn't know that you were here.
What the hell are you doing here?
How are you, Pink?
Wasn't 5 years enough? Forget you, Agnes.
Nice party.
Sure.
Very nice.
Forget you, Agnes.
So what have you been up to?
Are you still sleeping with that girl from community college?
Same old thing.
And business.
Trying the chicken?
After some no.
I'm sticking with liquids.
I know you have a problem with your mother, but you want to poison me.
See ya, Pink.
Up yours.
Take care, Agnes.
Forget you, Agnes.
Bye.
Bye.
Section 7. Fill in the blank or the arbitrariness of information.
Excuse me, but don't I know you? My name is Jack.
Hello.
My name is Bill.
How are you?
My name is Ted.
How do you do?
Melvin. And you are?
Jill.
Hello, Jill.
Monica.
How are you, Monica?
Denise.
We have gone to college together.
I went to Stanford.
Ah.
Bennington.
Ooh.
Chicago.
And I'm sorry, your name is?
Louise. And you're?
Barney.
Where'd you grow up, Bob?
Well,
Stealing?
well, I grew up in Washington.
Oh,
Santa Fe.
great place.
St. Louis.
Nice.
What about you, Jane?
My name is Jill.
Oh. Right. I'm sorry, Jill.
And yet, really, my name could be anything.
Anyway, I went to med school.
I wasn't born with a name.
I went to law school.
I was given a name.
I went to public school.
My name could just as easily be Beth, or Phyllis, or Jane,
Quite a smorgasbord, isn't it?
or Gertrude, or Natasha.
You know what the trouble with a smorgasbord is? There are too many choices.
A hummingbird doesn't have a name.
Do I want the chicken or the roast beef?
A fish doesn't have a name.
Pate or the cheese?
A hedgehog doesn't have a name.
Sometimes it's just like life that way.
It's just this nameless thing. A handful of skin and fur and a heartbeat inside it.
Should I work? Should I read? Should I listen to music?
Completely anonymous.
Should I come to this party? Should I go watch a movie?
A hedgehog doesn't even know it doesn't have a name.
Sometimes there's just so many choices I don't do anything.
With a name, you're just an example of something.
I thought to myself, you know, this party could be a total waste.
But I'm not an example of something.
I came to this party thinking I could meet the love of my life.
I'm somebody.
Do you think she's here?
Hi, I'm Jill.
Yeah.
Hello.
Section 26, the conditional tense. Should, would, could.
Okay. We meet at this party, and we like each other.
We like each other instantly.
I'm Zizi.
Miranda, did you know that the first 3 minutes of conversation can determine your relationship to the other person for all eternity?
But we passed the 3-minute mark. We meet, and we mesh.
Oh, what a mesh.
Past this point. Oh, it's quite a smorgasbord. The infinite smorgasbord lies before us. But what do we do?
All things are possible.
All things are possible. Do I ask you out?
Do I ask you out?
And if you do,
Should I accept?
This could be one of those glorious and intoxicating meetings better left to memory.
Or it be the start of eternal love?
So I say, would you like to get a cup of coffee sometime? And you say,
Sorry, but thanks anyway.
and that's the road of no thank you.
A dead end.
But possibly a very happy dead end. Well, down this road here lies.
Would you like to get a cup of coffee sometime?
Sure.
So we go out for coffee.
And we have a horrible time.
Dead end.
Or we have a wonderful time. In which case,
We get a second cup.
and stop there.
Dead end.
Or we get a 3rd cup, and a 4th cup, and a 5th cup.
Would we have kissed by now?
I think we would have.
I say we should have.
We certainly could have.
Let's say we did.
And it was terrible.
Dead end. Or it was wonderful. Which means,
More coffee.
and we get engaged.
Marriage.
Children.
Bliss.
And on to annulment.
Or the other road. Maybe we're down the road of no thank you. It took years and years ago, and years past. And we meet at a party.
And you say,
Hello, I'm Zena.
Miranda.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
And a whole new universe opens up in front of us.
Full of joy.
All things are possible.
All things do seem possible. Well, it was nice meeting you, Miranda.
Yes, nice meeting you too, Zena.
Section 78, saying goodbye.
Listen, I only have a few minutes.
Let's practice a typical interchange.
Party's wrapping up. The crowd is thinning. The coach is disappearing from the pile on the bed.
A typical interchange, please.
I just wanted to say, while I had the chance, you're the most wonderful woman at this party.
Typical, please.
In this city, in the country, in this county, on this planet,
You're the most wonderful man I've met in years.
you have a light that surrounds you.
You're intoxicating.
You're radiant. I came to this party one thing and I leave it transformed.
I came to this party to meet the love of my life.
And you're her.
You are she.
You're her. You're the love of my life.
My name could be anything.
But it's Jill.
I could have gone anywhere tonight.
But you came to this party.
Hello, hello.
Abracadabra. My name's Jill.
Would you like to get a cup of coffee sometime, Jack?
I would love that.
And it all starts right here.
A+.